I woke up to silence. No call, no text. I scrambled eggs in the pan, ate them with burnt toast, and tried not to count the years. 21, my birthday. I told myself, maybe they're planning something later. Maybe they're waiting for dinner. But then I opened my phone. I froze. Mom's profile picture glowed at the top of my feed. Her post said, "R.I.P. Milo, our brave angel. We'll never forget you. Thank you for the love you gave us every single day." Crying emojis covered the screen. The date below it stabbed me. Today. My throat tightened. My sister Ava commented first, "You were the best boy." Underneath, dozens of hearts and prayers filled the page. I whispered, "You forgot me, but you remember a cat?" The silence in my room swallowed the words I typed, "It's my birthday." Then deleted it. Typed again, "What about me?" Deleted. I laughed, but it came out like a cough. "I can't compete with a dead cat," I whispered, "Happy birthday, Ethan," to myself. It sounded pathetic. I grabbed my old jacket, the one with the ripped pocket, and my dad's broken watch. The glass was cracked, the hand stuck at 5:42. I slid it onto my wrist anyway. By evening, I couldn't sit still anymore. I walked the familiar blocks to Mom's house. My stomach twisted at the porch. I knocked. The door creaked open. Mom stood there in her slippers, her eyes red. "Ethan," she said, voice soft. "What are you doing here?" I forced a smile. "It's my birthday." Her face changed, guilt flashing, then fading. "We've had a hard day." I stepped inside. "Yeah, I saw the post." From the living room, Mark's voice cut in, sharp as glass. "Don't start, Ethan. Don't make this about you." I clenched my teeth. It is about me. I've been alive 21 years. "That counts for something." Mark appeared, arms crossed. "You think the world revolves around you?" "A living thing died today." I stared at him. "A cat, Mark," he smirked. "More loyal than you've ever been." My chest burned. "I never stole from you." "Never lied. But sure, let's pretend Milo was perfect." Mom rubbed her hands together. "Please don't fight. We'll do something tomorrow." "Dinner, maybe?" I looked at the counter. A small plate sat there. On it was a tiny cake with paw print candles. I pointed. "You baked that for Milo?" Ava walked in from the kitchen holding her phone. "It's a memorial cake, Ethan. Don't be cruel." I laughed, bitter and broken. "Cruel? I'm the son whose birthday you all forgot. And you lit candles for a cat." Mark stepped closer, his voice low. "You need to grow up." "Maybe I do," I said. "But you all need to remember I exist." Silence filled the room. Mom looked down. Ava stared at her phone. Mark smirked like he won something. I shook my head. "You know what? Keep your tomorrow. Keep your cake. Keep your memories," Mark muttered. "Drama queen." I opened the door. "Fine, I'll take my drama somewhere else." The cold air hit me as I stepped out. My eyes burned, but I refused to cry on their porch. I walked down the street, fists tight in my jacket pockets. My phone buzzed. A text from Ben. "Happy birthday, man. You around?" I stopped under the streetlight, staring at the message. My throat closed. I typed back, "Yeah, can we talk?" He replied fast, "Crash at my place. I'll grab noodles." I looked back at the house one last time. Through the window, I saw the glow of candles. "Not mine," I whispered. "Happy birthday, Ethan," again, but this time with a promise buried inside. Things are going to change. I walked into the night. Mom's eyes were swollen when she opened the door. "It's been a hard day," she whispered. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "It's my birthday." Her lips parted, but before she could answer, Mark appeared behind her. Arms crossed, jaw tight. "Don't make this about you," he said. I stepped inside anyway. The air smelled like tuna. It clung to the walls. My stomach turned as I looked at the counter. A small plate sat there, a cake. Tiny paw print candles pushed into the frosting. My laugh broke halfway through.
"You made a cake for a cat?"
Today of all days? Ava walked in, phone still in her hand. "It's for Milo, it's a memorial." "Don't twist it, twist it?" I asked, my voice cracked. "I'm alive, Ava, do I not get a candle?" Mark shook his head. "We're grieving." "So am I," said. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. I waited for Mom to say it. "I'm sorry, Ethan. We forgot. Something. Anything." She wrung her hands instead. "We'll do something tomorrow." "Dinner, maybe?" I looked at the empty corner of the room where gifts used to sit. The corner mocked me. Keep it, I said. Ava rolled her eyes. You're overreacting. Mark's lips twisted. Grow up, my jaw locked. My chest felt heavy. I forced my voice steady. Fine, I will. The silence cracked when I turned toward the door. My shoes scraped the floor louder than my voice. I opened the door. The night air rushed in, cold and sharp. Mom whispered behind me, Ethan, wait, I didn't. I stepped onto the porch, pulled the door shut, and felt the latch click like a final word. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A text from Ben lit the screen. Happy birthday, man. You free? I typed fast. Can I come over? His reply came almost before I locked the screen. Always. Got noodles. Hurry. I let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. The street was quiet, the windows glowing behind me. I didn't look back. Ben's apartment smelled like garlic and soy sauce when he opened the door. He grinned, holding up a greasy takeout bag. Saved your life again, he said. I tried to smile. I think you might have. We sat at his tiny table, cartons open, steam rising. He shoved chopsticks into my hand. Talk, what happened? I swallowed a bite, then the words. They forgot. Again. Not a text, not a call. Ben's brow furrowed. No way, I nodded. Mom posted a tribute to Milo instead, with crying emojis. Ava wrote poems in the comments. He stared. You're joking. I wish. He set down his chopsticks. What did they say when you showed up? I laughed without humor. Mark told me not to make it about me. Ava defended the cake. Mom promised dinner tomorrow. Ben shook his head slowly. They baked a cake for a dead cat on your birthday? I pressed my fingers against my forehead. Paw print candles. Like some kind of punchline. Damn, he muttered. I knew they were messed up, but that's cruel. I pushed my noodles away. I wanted them to just say sorry. That's all. One word, and they didn't. They couldn't, I whispered. The silence sat heavy between us. Finally, Ben leaned back. You know what I think? What? You've been holding on too long, waiting for them to notice you. It's not gonna happen, man. I clenched my fists. So what? I cut them off. Maybe not all at once. But you gotta start living like they don't decide your worth. My chest ached. They're my family. He looked at me hard. And what have they given you except scars? I didn't answer. He pointed at my wrist. Why you wearing that busted watch again? I turned it. The cracked glass caught the light. It was Dad's, only thing he left me. It doesn't tick, but it reminds me someone once cared. Ben's face softened. Then keep that. Forget the rest. I shook my head. Easier said than done, he shrugged. That's why I'm here. We'll figure it out, I laughed weakly. You didn't sign up for this. He raised his carton like a toast. Best friends don't need sign-up sheets. Something in my chest loosened. For the first time all day, I felt less invisible. Still, the words slipped out before I could stop them. What's wrong with me, Ben? Why am I so easy to forget? He leaned forward, voice steady. There's nothing wrong with you. They're the broken ones. I stared at him, at the certainty in his eyes, and wished I could believe it. The noodles went cold, but neither of us cared. Ben finally pushed back his chair. Crash on the couch. You're not walking back there tonight. I hesitated. I don't want to be a burden. He threw a pillow at me. Shut up and take the couch. I caught it, laughed, and nodded. Thanks. As he turned off the kitchen light, he said, Happy birthday, Ethan. This time I didn't whisper it alone. I dropped my bag by Ben's couch and tried to smile. Crash at my place, he said, tossing me a blanket. Eat first, think later. I opened the noodles. Am I crazy? No, he said. But you need a plan. My plan used to be them, I said. Birthday dinners. College money, family. Ben shook his head. Hope isn't a plan. I know, I said. I just wanted one day. You want more than a day, he said. You want a life that doesn't ask you to beg. I stared at the cracked watch on my wrist. Then tomorrow I start. Good, he said. Sleep now. We fight in the morning. I didn't sleep much. When the sun touched the blinds, I opened my banking app. The number hit like a punch. 00. My mouth went dry. I tried again. Still 0. Ben rubbed his eyes. What's wrong? My savings are gone, I said. He sat up fast. Stolen? I don't know, I said. I'm calling. The electronic voice crawled through menus. Representative, I said until a woman answered. Can I verify your identity? she asked. Yes, I said, reciting details. How can I help you today? My savings shows 0, I said. Yesterday it wasn't, she typed. I'm seeing joint access changes last year, she said. The secondary name updated. Whose name? I asked. I can't disclose third-party details, she said. The update came from in-branch authorization. I closed my eyes. Could it be Mark? Silence stretched. I can't confirm, she said. How much was moved? Multiple withdrawals over months, she said. Cashier's checks. I can file a dispute, but if the signer had access... My mother trusted him, I said. I didn't. I'm sorry, she said. I can send you the forms. Do it, I said. She took my email. We hung up. Ben watched me. Mark? I nodded. He borrowed it. For what? I opened Ava's feed. A photo of her with a new car filled the screen. The caption said, New wheels. Thanks, fam, Ben hissed. I swear. It's motive, I said. Not proof. You don't need a courtroom, he said. You need a job and a door. We left the apartment. The diner bell rang when we pushed inside. Mr. Parker looked up from the register. Hey, kid, he said. You okay? Not really, I said. I need shifts. As many as you have. He frowned. School? Not this semester, I said. He drummed his fingers. You show up. That matters. I've got Saturdays. Maybe some nights if Danny keeps flaking. I'll take all of it, I said. You got boots? I pointed at my worn sneakers. They want to be boots when they grow up. He snorted. Clock in at 5 on Saturday. I'll find a pair in the back. Ugly but free. Ben bumped my shoulder. Told you. I stuck out my hand. Thank you, Mr. Parker. He shook it. Don't thank me, earn it. Also eat, he eyed me. You need a reference? For what? Anything that gets you out of whatever this is? Can you write one? I'll do better, he said. I'll vouch on the phone. Why? Because you show up, he said. And because somebody should. I won't waste it. Good. And don't let that man talk to you like payroll. He doesn't pay me, I said. Then he doesn't get to spend you. We grabbed 2 coffees. Outside, wind pushed at my jacket. Ben sipped. Next move? I text Mom, I said. She has to answer, I typed. Where is my college money? We waited. No answer. I typed again. Did Mark take it? A new bubble appeared from Mark. Watch your tone. My blood went hot. I typed, watch your hands. I deleted it. I typed, return what you took. Deleted. I finally sent, I know about the account. He replied, family decisions. Stay out of grown-up matters. I'm 21, I whispered. I am the matter, Ben read over my shoulder. He's baiting you. Don't bite. I want to explode, I said. Explode into a plan, he said. Not into his lap. We walked to a bench. Traffic hissed. Ben broke the noise. What do you have? I have me, I said. I have the watch. I have a job. I have your couch. You have proof of the bank change, he said. Screenshots. Your name, I breathed. If I can't count on them, I'll count on me. There you go, he said. Say it again. I'll count on me. The words felt like nails hammered into wood. I sent the bank my ID. I saved the email. I screenshotted Ava's post and backed it up. I wrote a list. Shifts. Replacement documents. Room to rent. Ben watched me type. You moving out today? I don't want another night wondering if they'll remember me, I said. I'm packing a small bag. What goes in it? He asked. The watch. A change of clothes. Toothbrush. Grandma's letter. You sure? I'm done begging, I said. I'm not done living. We stood. The sky looked like tin. Ben clapped my back. I'll help you pack. You've done enough, I said. Need cash? He asked. No, I said. I'll earn it. He pressed a card into my hand. Transit. Use it. I'll pay you back. Shut up and take it, he said. I smiled. Okay. We headed back. My phone buzzed. Mom finally texted. We'll talk when Mark gets home. I typed. I'll talk when I'm ready. I pocketed the phone and walked faster. The watch on my wrist didn't tick, but for the first time in a long time, I did. I kept moving, light, angry, awake, and newly mine. I scrolled the board at the diner until one note stopped me. Room over garage, month to month, no drama. I circled the number and walked straight there. The little house had peeling paint, but flowers lined the path. I rang the bell. The door opened to a girl with streaks of green on her hands. "Hey, looking for the room?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm Ethan. I need a place fast." She smiled. "I'm Hannah. I help Mrs. Brown with the garden." "Come in." I stepped inside. The hall smelled like soil and tea. A small, kind-eyed woman appeared, wiping her hands on an apron. "You must be Ethan," she said. "Yes, ma'am." She looked at my bag, then at my face. "You seem tired." I nodded once. She sighed. "First week's half. You can pay the rest after your shift." My throat tightened. "Thank you." "Keys are on the hook," she said. "Up the stairs, door on the left." I carried my bag up. The room was small, plain, with a single window. A mattress leaned against the wall. It was more than enough. That night, I lay on the floor, lights off, phone dark. I whispered into the quiet, "I can do this." A knock broke the silence. "Yeah?" I asked. Hannah's voice came soft.
Tea? I opened the door.
She stood there with 2 mugs, steam rising. "Why?" I asked. "Because you look like you needed it," she said. We sat on the steps outside, sipping. She asked, "Rough day?" I laughed once. "Birthday." My family forgot. Baked a cake for a cat instead. Her brow furrowed. "That hurts." "Yeah," I said. She didn't add, "but maybe they meant well or give them time." She just let the words sit. I breathed in the night. The street was quiet, the flowers darker in the moonlight. "What now?" I whispered. She tilted her head. "What do you want now?" "I want to stop begging them to see me," I said. She nodded. "Then start with tomorrow." I turned my wrist. The broken watch glinted in the dim light. "Still frozen, still mine. Tomorrow I start double shifts," I said. She raised her mug. "To tomorrow." I touched mine to hers. "To tomorrow." When she left, I placed the watch by the window and lay back down. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. It felt like a beginning. The sink filled with steam as I scrubbed pan after pan. My hands stung, my knuckles raw, but I didn't stop. Mr. Parker slid a plate across the counter. "Fuel up before you fall over." I shook my head. "I'll pay. It's leftover," he said. "Eat." I sat on a milk crate and shoved fries into my mouth. He leaned on the counter. "You working this hard for rent?" "Rent, life, everything," I said. He studied me. "Keep showing up like this and you'll climb. Maybe not fast, but steady," I nodded. "I don't have another choice." When my shift ended, Hannah waited by the door, paint still streaked on her jeans. "You walk home?" she asked. "Yeah, then I'll join. Feels safer." We walked in silence until she glanced at my wrist. "That watch doesn't even tick." "It was my dad's," I said. "It's all I've got left of him." "Then fix it," she said. I looked at her. "You think it can be fixed?" She shrugged. "Only one way to find out." We turned down Main Street, where a tiny shop still glowed. A bell chimed when we entered. An old man behind the counter peered over his glasses. "Help you?" I held out the watch. "Can you fix it?" He took it gently, pressed it to his ear, and smiled. "It wants to live." For the first time in days, I smiled back. "Then make it live," he nodded. "Come back in a week," outside Hannah said. "See? Hope's not dead yet." "I didn't expect that," I admitted. "You needed it," she said. Back at the room, I pulled out an old shoebox. Inside were photos, scraps, and one envelope I had never opened. My grandmother's handwriting covered it. I tore it carefully. Her words hit me hard. "When people forget you, don't forget yourself." I heard her voice like she was in the room. I whispered, "I'm trying, Grandma." The letter lit something in me. I opened my laptop and typed an email. "Dear Coach Harris, I don't know if you remember me. I was supposed to try for that scholarship. I still want it." I hit send and stared at the screen. Minutes later, a reply came. "Ethan! Of course I remember. If you still want it, I'll write a letter." My chest tightened. I whispered, "Yes." Hannah knocked. "You okay?" I opened the door, holding the letter. "My grandma wrote this. She told me not to forget myself." Hannah read the words and handed it back. She was right, and Coach Harris is giving me another shot. Her eyes softened. "Then don't waste it." I sat on the floor, tying my sneakers. "I'm not. At dawn, I ran. My lungs burned, my legs screamed, but I didn't stop. Every breath felt like proof," I whispered between gasps. "I'm not done." For the first time in years, the hurt in my chest had a purpose. The clock had started. I walked up the old path with my backpack slung over one shoulder. My chest was tight, but I told myself, just get the papers and go. I pulled my key from my pocket, slid it into the lock, and twisted. Nothing. I tried again, harder. Still nothing. The cold realization sank in. Mark changed it. I rang the bell. The door opened, and there he was, broad shoulders filling the frame, smug grin already waiting. "You don't live here," he said. "My birth certificate is inside," I said. "I need it." He leaned against the door frame. "Ask your mother. Mark?" Mom's voice drifted from the hall. She stepped into view, eyes red and wet. "Mark, please," she whispered. He shook his head. "Don't start, Linda. He's not here for papers." "He wants to punish us," I clenched my fists. "I just want my papers." Mark smirked, then slowly pushed the door shut. The click of the lock echoed in my chest. I stood on the porch, shaking. My throat burned, my jaw tight, my hands useless at my sides. I walked back to the street. Air sharp in my lungs and kept walking until my legs hurt. Later, Hannah found me on the steps outside the garage. "You get them?" she asked. I shook my head. "Why?" Mark changed the lock. "Said I don't live there." Her eyes darkened. "What about your mom?" She peeked out. "Couldn't even meet my eyes. She stopped herself. "Listen, papers can be replaced." "You cannot." I stared at the cracked sidewalk. "Feels like I lost everything." "You didn't lose yourself," she said firmly. Her words cut through the fog. She nudged my shoulder. "Come on, we'll fill out forms." Pain in the ass, but doable. We sat at the table, laptops open, papers spread out. I typed slowly, hands trembling less with each line. Social Security, birth certificate, ID, Hannah listed. Step 1, replacements. "Feels like starting from zero," I muttered. She looked at me. "Better than staying stuck at -10. I almost laughed. "You sound like a teacher," she smirked. "Garden philosopher. Free of charge." Mrs. Brown appeared at the doorway with a tray. "Thought you two could use these. Lemon bars and an extra blanket." "Thank you," I said, the words catching. She set them down. "Everyone deserves a soft place to land." My throat tightened. "You didn't have to." "I wanted to," she said. "Now eat before it melts," Hannah grinned. "See? Universe agrees with me." I bit into a lemon bar. Sweet, tart, grounding. For the first time all day, I felt human again. The next morning at the diner, I pulled Mr. Parker aside. "Can I ask you something?" I said. He wiped his hands on a rag. "If it's about raises, no. If it's about shifts, maybe." "Neither," I said. "I need a letter." "For a scholarship," he raised his brows. "College, huh?" I nodded, trying again. "Coach Harris is helping, but I need more references." Mr. Parker scratched his chin. "You show up, you work hard, you don't complain much. That's all a reference needs. You'd really write one?" "Proud to," he said simply. The words hit me harder than I expected. "Thank you. Don't thank me. Just keep proving me right," I nodded. "I will." That night, I sat on the garage steps with my laptop open. My application filled the screen. Essays, forms, documents, everything I could scrape together. Hannah sat beside me, sipping tea. Nervous? Terrified. Good. Means it matters. I hit submit. The confirmation message blinked back at me. I exhaled slow. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was waiting on someone else to decide my life. I leaned back against the railing, the cool night pressing around me. My chest felt lighter, not empty. I whispered, "No more begging." Hannah tilted her head. "What did you say?" I smiled faintly. "I decided to stop begging." She clinked her mug against mine. "About time." I closed my eyes, breathing deep. For the first time, I believed it. I stared at the family group chat for a long time before typing one line. "Please do not contact me unless it's about my documents." Ava's bubble appeared almost immediately. "You're being dramatic." My hands shook, but I typed back, "You spent my college fund on a car." Silence. No dots, no reply. I put my phone face down and focused on breathing. That night, I was wiping counters at the diner when the bell above the door jingled. Mark walked in. My stomach knotted. He leaned on the counter, his smile thin. "You made your mother cry." I didn't flinch. You took my future, he chuckled low. You'll live. I slid my phone into my pocket and pressed record. Did you take my savings? I asked. He shrugged like it was nothing. Family money. My hands trembled, but my voice came out steady. Not anymore. He leaned closer. Careful, boy. You don't want to make enemies in your own bloodline. Blood doesn't excuse theft, I said. His eyes narrowed, but before he could reply, Mr. Parker came out of the kitchen. Leave my cook alone, he said, voice sharp. Mark straightened, fake grin plastered on his face. Just a family chat. Not in my diner, Mr. Parker snapped. Mark laughed, cold and short, then walked out. The door banged shut behind him. I slipped into the break room, heart hammering, and stopped the recording. I replayed it once, listening to his words. Family money, proof. I sent the audio to my email and saved it to the cloud. Ben texted me. You good? I typed back, I've got his confession. It's not revenge, it's proof. Later, I sat on the garage steps with Hannah. He came to the diner, I told her. She frowned. What did he want? To scare me. To make me crawl back. Did it work? I shook my head. No, I recorded him. I've got proof he took the money. Her eyes widened. That's huge. It's something. Not enough to fix everything, but enough to remind me I'm not crazy. She leaned against the railing. So what now? I draw the line, I said. I don't cross back over. She nodded. Then keep it sharp. Boundaries with teeth. I smiled faintly. Exactly. I looked at the dark street, then at the watch ticking faintly on my wrist. For the first time, I believed the line I'd drawn could hold. A week slid by in rhythm. Work, run, sleep. My body ached, but my head felt clearer than it had in years. One night, Hannah joined me on the garage steps after my shift. She handed me a mug. What do you want most? She asked, steam curled into the cool air. I stared into it. To feel real, she sipped. What does real mean to you? Not invisible. Not waiting for scraps, just like I matter without begging, she nodded. I get that. My dad left when I was 9. He didn't even say goodbye, just gone. And every birthday after that, I kept wondering if he'd remember. It still stings. I looked at her. So what did you do with that sting? Turned it into art, she said, brushing dried paint from her jeans. Doesn't fix it, but it keeps me breathing. We didn't try to fix each other. We just listened. Later that week, I opened my inbox. The subject line made my pulse race. Scholarship interview Friday. I read it once. Then again, then a third time to be sure the words wouldn't vanish. I walked downstairs. Letter clutched in my hand. Mrs. Brown was arranging flowers on the porch. I got an interview, I blurted out. She looked up and smiled. Of course you did. She slid a tiny plant across the table toward me. For luck. Proud of you, Ethan. I held the plant like it was made of glass. Thank you, she patted my shoulder. Now water it or it'll give up on you. I laughed quietly. I won't let it. The next day, Hannah walked with me to the repair shop. The bell jingled as I stepped inside. The watchmaker looked up. Ah, you again. You said it wanted to live, I said. Is it ready? He lifted the watch from a velvet tray, wound it slowly, and held it to his ear. A smile spread across his face. Tick, tick. Strong heartbeat now, he placed it in my palm. The steady rhythm filled me. I strapped it on. Feels like armor, Hannah grinned. Told you hope wasn't dead. I nodded, eyes on the ticking hands. Feels like I've got time back. That night, I opened my phone and scrolled through settings. My finger hovered, then I pressed block on Mark's number. Relief washed over me like clean air. Minutes later, a new text buzzed from an unfamiliar number. Can we talk? Mom. I stared at the screen until it dimmed. Hannah poked her head in. Everything okay? I held up the phone. It's her. New number. Wants to talk. What do you want? She asked gently. I want to breathe, I said. So? I typed 2 words, not yet. My thumb hovered. Then I hit send. The message sent. The screen went black, and the silence of the room wrapped around me. I set the phone aside, slid the ticking watch onto the windowsill, and lay back. For the first time in years, I went to sleep feeling both lighter and scared, and for once, that felt like progress. The interview room felt too bright, but I forced myself to breathe steady. One of the panelists leaned forward. Tell us about resilience, Ethan. I glanced at my watch, its steady ticking grounding me. Resilience is fixing what's broken even when it looks hopeless. My father's old watch was cracked and silent for years. I kept it anyway. When I finally repaired it, it started ticking again. Same with me. I almost gave up, but a letter from my grandma reminded me not to forget myself. Pens scratched across notepads. Heads nodded. I walked out with my chest tight, but not empty. My phone buzzed. A message from Ava lit the screen. I'm sorry. I didn't know he took your money. I froze. Before I could reply, another message arrived. A screenshot. It showed Mom's email inbox. A subject line stabbed me in the gut. Scholarship invite, Ethan Cole. The date was last year. The folder's name at the top. Later. My stomach flipped. I sat on the curb, fingers numb. I hit call. Ava answered with a shaky breath.
Ethan?
My voice cracked. What is this? She sniffed. Mark said you weren't ready. Mom listened. They hid it. I swear I didn't know. I closed my eyes. Ava, that was my chance. My life. I know, she cried. I thought you didn't apply. I thought you gave up. I shook my head hard, voice sharp. I didn't give up. They buried it. Silence pressed through the line. Thank you for telling me, I said finally. My voice wavered. She whispered, I didn't post the cat thing to hurt you. I leaned back against the cold wall. I know, and I did know, but the hurt still sat heavy, stubborn as stone. That night, I pulled out my laptop. I saved the screenshots. I emailed them to myself twice, then to Ben. Proof. I stared at the files until my eyes blurred. I whispered to the dark room. It wasn't all in my head. The truth felt cold, sharp, and clean, like rain washing everything down the gutter. For the first time, the storm wasn't only mine. The envelope shook in my hands before I even opened it. My name in bold, the scholarship seal stamped. I tore it fast, eyes racing the lines. Congratulations, awarded in full. I sat down hard on the bed, breath rushing out of me. For a second, I couldn't move. Then I whispered, I got it. I texted Ben, Hannah, Mrs. Brown, and Coach Harris. Ceremony Friday. Be there. Replies came quick. Wouldn't miss it, Ben wrote. Proud already, Hannah sent with a paint-smeared selfie. Mrs. Brown, of course. Wear something that fits. Coach Harris, front row. You earned this. I didn't text my family. The hall smelled of polished wood and flowers. My name sat on the program, black ink against white paper. I sat in the front row with my circle around me. Then I saw them, Mom in the aisle, shaking. Mark right beside her, jaw tight. My stomach dropped. They walked closer. My pulse hammered. Mark leaned in, voice like poison. You owe us. I stared straight at him. I don't. His hand shot out, gripping my sleeve. Ben stepped between us in a heartbeat. Back off. I pulled free, my heart beating in my throat. You changed the locks. You took my money. You hid my future. My voice didn't crack this time. No more. Mom's tears spilled. Please, Ethan, help us. Mark lost his job. We're drowning. My chest ached. Old habits screamed at me to fix it, to take responsibility like always. Then Hannah's hand found mine, warm and steady. I breathed. I will help you leave him. I will not help you stay. Mom's head dropped. Her tears dripped onto the polished floor. Mark cursed under his breath. Ungrateful brat. He turned and stormed out, shoulders stiff. The room watched, whispers like wind. I felt their eyes. But I didn't shrink. I walked to the stage, stepped steady despite the pounding in my chest. The podium light hit my face. The watch ticked on my wrist. For the first time in my life, the words I spoke would be mine alone, and I chose me. A month passed before my phone lit up with a new number. I hesitated, then answered. Ethan, Mom said, her voice thin. I moved in with Aunt Jenna. I started a job. I'm sorry, I listened, waiting for the usual excuses. But this time I only heard fear. I believe you're trying, I said slowly. I'm here when you're ready to be honest. Silence, then a shaky breath. Thank you, we hung up. My chest felt heavy and lighter at the same time. Ava came by 2 days later. She stood awkwardly at the bottom of the garage steps. Can I sit? She asked. Yeah, we walked to the river. The water moved slow, carrying leaves. She kicked a stone. I'm sorry again, she whispered. I nodded. I know, We didn't talk much after that. The quiet said what words couldn't. At the bank, I handed over the audio and screenshots. The clerk frowned. This is serious. We'll open a case. I signed papers, my hands steady this time. When I left, Ben texted, "You gonna post it?" I typed back, "No, this isn't for show. Life became simple. I didn't write speeches online. I cleaned tables until the surface shined. I ran at dawn, breath burning, heart alive. I wore my watch every day, the ticking a steady drum in my ear. One night on the steps, Hannah leaned against me. "Proud of you," she said softly. I surprised myself when I answered, "I'm proud of me too." It felt new. It felt true. On my next birthday, a small cake sat on the table. Ben lit the candles. Hannah clapped. Mrs. Brown smiled from her chair and Coach Harris raised a glass. I closed my eyes, breathed deep, and whispered, "Happy birthday, Ethan." This time I meant it. That was justice.